app so far, and I want to show you guys something. When we click the Add Diner button, we create a new row, alright, but you'll notice that, here, I'll name this something special so we know what we're dealing with. Okay, so this is the first customer. And we hit the new diner button, or the Add Diner button, and we notice every time we make a new customer, the first customer is still highlighted, and maybe this is not so convenient for our user. Maybe we want the new customer that the customer or the user just created to have focus. So let's go back to our onClick method here, and under the Add Diner button if block, find edit text 2 and type this. et2 dot request focus. And what this does is, as soon as a new diner is created, new edit text is also created, and then right after that edit text is created, we make it have the focus. And again, focus is just what is currently selected or active on the app screen. So to show you what that does, let's go into the app again. And let's wait for it to restart. Any second now. Okay, great. Now let's click the button and see what happens. See, now you'll notice that each new customer, they get their first order edit text here, have focus, as soon as they're created, which is probably more useful to the customer than just having the focus stay where it used to be. So that's just a quick thing we wanted to change. So for the main part of this video today, we're going to add functionality to these buttons right here. These buttons are the buttons that the user clicks when they want to add another order for one particular customer. So say customer 1 bought a meal for $8, but he also bought a drink, and we don't want the user to have to do the math himself. We'll just let him press this button, and then a new row will pop under here, and it's an edit text, and they can just put like $2 for the drink. And then we'll calculate how much the total is down here for him. So let's do that. Now that we want to make every customer have more than one edit text for his orders, we should keep track of that inside the diner class. So go into the diner class, and let's create an array list to keep track of all the orders that one particular diner has. So public array list, and the array list will hold edit texts. And we'll call it order list. And we'll go ahead and assign it down here. Oh, but first import the array list code. You need to import it again for the diner class since it's separate from main activity. And then go ahead and assign it down here. Order list equals, and we'll assign it to a new array list. New array list that holds edit text. And then don't forget the brackets. And since whenever we create a new diner, it's already going to have an order by default, the first order. Let's add the first order to the array list automatically when this thing is constructed. So order list, and you do that again by doing order list dot add, and then put in the first order, the edit text for the first order. And while we're at it, let's create a new method. So down here, another method, public void, because it's not going to return anything, new order, and it's going to take an edit text as an argument, and we'll just call that new order. And as for the code inside the new order, what we're going to do is just add the new order that's passed into the function, or sorry, the method, and we'll add it to order list. And we'll call that in main activity. So we're done with diner for now. Let's go back to main activity. And the first thing we have to do is the first part over here, we need to make sure that, or wait, we don't have to do anything, sorry. I'm confused. Okay, let's go down here. And when we make the order, okay, I know what we have to do. So we need to make the, whoops, wrong thing. need to make these buttons be listened to by main activity. So the first button is add button 1, so that's separate from all the rest because it's generated automatically by our UI XML. So let's set on click listener to this, just like for our add button, our add diner button. And then whenever we create a new customer or a diner, we also have a new add diner or add button for him called IB. So let's also set this to set on click listener this. And now our on click code will always run whenever any of these things are clicked, whenever any of these buttons are clicked. And right now what it does is it checks if it's diner button, and none of these buttons are add diner button. So let's go ahead and write code to handle the case where they're not add diner button. So with an if conditional or an if statement, it starts off with an if, and then at the end of the if statement you can add the following: else. And now if v is not equal to add diner button, the computer will skip all this code and automatically run the else code block, which is here, which is what we're writing currently. So let's write this else code. And what we want to do is to check if v is equal to any of these buttons. And how do we check if the v is equal to any of these buttons? It's going to be similar to how we checked if when we did the onFocus change method, how we checked if the thing they just left focus was any of these edit text. We're going to use the same method to see if any of these buttons were clicked. So we can just copy this for loop and this if clause and paste it here. So for int I equals 0, as long as I is less than diner_list.size I++, what this says is just loop through once for every diner. Again, we already explained this extensively in the last 2 videos, so I won't talk too much about it. Now if v is equal to the current I of diner_list dot, not et name, but the button, which we called IB add order, and there's no and for this because there's no focus for buttons. So if v is equal to one of the add order buttons in the diner list, then let's do something. And what will we do? I'm missing a parentheses here. Okay, so what do we do? Well, we want it to create a new row, so let's create a new row. Call it row 3. There we go, row 3. And we'll add an edit text to it. And we'll call it new order. And we'll set the parameters for new order, and we can just copy all this stuff here from et2. So let's go ahead and do that. And just replace et2 with edit text. We set the text to $0. Select true all and focus, yeah. Input type is the same. Oops, not edit text, row 3. Set the same layout parameters, yes. The same width, and also request focus when we click and create this new thing. Okay, great. Oh, sorry, not row 3, I'm messing up. New order is what we're doing all this to, the new edit text. Alrighty then, and also, well, let's go ahead and use, or rather, let's go ahead and add the stuff to our main table. So row3.add add view new order, and we'll add row 3 to main table. And where will we add it? For now, let's use the same algorithm that we used up here, which is just diner_list.size plus 1. And an algorithm in computing is just the formula that the computer uses to determine the solution to a problem. In this case, the problem is where do we insert the row, and the algorithm is to just take the dynalist.size plus 1. And we'll just see if that works or not. Let's go ahead and try running it to see. Oh, and one more thing. Since we created this new order, let's go ahead and run the new order function or method we created for it. So this right here again returns the appropriate diner in diner list, the one that was clicked or had its button clicked. And to run the method, we just put period or dot and pass or use function new order, and as an argument we'll pass the new order edit text. And that'll add this new order edit text to the array list for that particular diner object order list. Let's run it. And let's try clicking this button here. Okay, so it created a button here, or an edit text here, instead of here. It's not lined up properly. So let's fix that. Now, there are a couple ways to fix this, but I think the easiest way is to actually do the following. Right here, create another edit text and call it empty edit text equals new edit text this. And this empty edit text, basically we don't have to worry about any of its parameters. All we have to do is do this. Empty edit text dot set visibility 4. So set visibilities, that's whether or not we can see this empty edit text or not. And if you want it to be invisible, just pass the number 4. I don't know why it's 4 instead of like 1 or 0, which would be more obvious, but it's 4 for some reason. So pass it 4, and then down here, first, add the empty edit text to row 3. And then add new order to row 3. And then we'll see that that solves our problem. Essentially, we're creating a fake edit text here that nobody can see, but because we put that in column 1, that'll push the real edit text that we care about, the new order edit text. It'll push that into column 2. And it'll look good. And it'll look like it's lined up. This is one way to do it. There's multiple ways. So let's click. And now it looks like what we want it to look like. Of course, now we have another problem. You can go ahead and try clicking the new customer button. And now click any of the add order buttons here. And they all add all the way down here to the last customer for some reason. And what's worse is when you click a new customer or add new diner button, it creates it right here instead of at the bottom here. So basically, we need to change our entire row setting algorithm here. This is no longer going to work because at this point, all our code is accounting for this code right here and this code right here. It worked before only because we assumed each diner had one row to itself. Now each diner can have multiple rows because they could have multiple orders, and our algorithm currently does not account for that.